In this video, I will tell you exactly how I've managed to bulk after having a hard time bulking and not succeeding in it. And for you to realize how I've managed to do it, I need to tell you a story. When I started my journey, I used to be fat. I needed to cut and I cut. That's exactly what I was doing. And as I was cutting, I also trained in the gym. I did resistance training and I built some muscle. After 1.5 years of training, I lost weight for around 3 months and then I went on a maintenance diet. I attained a pretty muscular and a shredded physique. I got shredded because for the last 3 months of that maintenance phase, I was doing something that is more like a slow cut. I didn't track calories at the time, but I lost around half a pound per week. And then it got me. I was shredded. I realized it. And I realized that by bulking I would gain more muscle and it is the time to bulk. The thing was that after losing weight I was so damn afraid of gaining weight. I was afraid to rebound and gain all of the weight back and get fat again, and I saw bulking, the calorie surplus, as a way to get there. And I was afraid of that. I developed all of these negative associations with the bulk, with calorie surplus, that I had a pretty hard time doing that. And I remember trying once to bulk, like eating more, not really tracking calories, but eating more than satiety. I did it for a few days and then I just quit, because I didn't want to bring myself to that state. But then I realized that I miss out on gains and I should be bulking. I watched some fitness influencers who talked about how great a bulk will impact my gains, how I should do it. And I decided to go and embark on a bulk once again, and that time I didn't fail. I was doing two things differently than before, and by doing them, I think that there were the things that differentiated me failing and me succeeding. What they were, the first one out of them was that I started to upload a series to this channel about the bulk. I documented my bulk. I came here every day and showed my physique and how much I weighted, and by doing that, I was way more accountable to meeting my calorie surplus goal. It was not anymore about me just trying to build more muscle, it was me following my word, and I wanted to follow them. I gave them power, I valued them, and because of that, I continuously ate at my calorie surplus goal. But the thing is that the way for me to get to my calorie surplus goal is not through just letting my hunger do its thing, because when I let my hunger do its thing, so I was doing a clean bulk. I was not eating junk food, and because of that, me letting my hunger do its thing just caused me to stagnate and even to lose some weight, because I was on a keto diet, I think, and I had a hard time overeating. When you eat a ketogenic diet, you don't eat all of the fucking tasty stuff, and this accompanied with my semi-eating disorder of my body not wanting to gain weight, my mind associating a calorie surplus with being fat. I couldn't bring myself to a calorie surplus, I couldn't bring myself to gaining weight, and because of that I needed to track calories, and that's exactly what I was doing. I started to track calories on my FitnessPal, and by doing that, I made sure every day that I reached my calorie goals, I gained weight. Not a lot, I was doing a clean and lean bulk. I gained around half a pound per week, but as the month had gone by, I gained around 10 pounds. Most of those pounds were muscle. I built a lot of muscle, and I pretty much succeeded. And these are the two things that made me more successful in bulking. The first one out of them is accountability, the second one was actually tracking calories. If you have a hard time getting to your calorie goal or gaining weight in general, I genuinely think that tracking calories will really benefit you. By tracking them, you will gain weight. Because when you eat in a surplus, when you don't lie to yourself about the calories that you're eating, you track your calories accurately 90 to 100% of the time, because if you do it for 60% of the time, you get 60% of the accuracy, and usually the 40% accuracy is you under eating your calories, which cause you to not gain weight. So when you track around 90 to 100% of the time accurately, and your calorie goal is the right goal, and you do it, you gain weight. And that's why consistency is so important. And I think that accountability is one way to make yourself a lot more consistent. You can either promise to your fucking friend that you will gain weight, have some punishment if you don't gain weight, fucking you giving them $20, or some level of social consequences, you feeling shame. This is also a punishment for you not meeting your goals. It should be painful to not meet them. That's just a psychological thing that a lot of mindset coaches talk about, and it is that when not achieving that goal becomes more painful than achieving it, you go and you put in the work that gets you to it. And that's what I think that you should be doing. That's what accountability does. Because when you are accountable to it, either to your friends or to the internet like I was doing, not following it becomes a lot more painful. And usually, if following it is your goal, this being your goal, accompanied with this pain of not following it, becomes the thing that forces you to follow it, and then you follow it and you achieve the results. And that's why it's pretty good. And lastly, so I had a fear that I would just get fat, that I would lose my 6-pack abs, that I will not be veiny anymore after bulking. So this was my first bulk. I didn't know how do you look like after a bulk. I didn't know how I would look like after a bulk, to be specific. I am not fat right now, right? I'm shredded. Because I did a lean bulk and I didn't overdo my bulk, I should bulk once again. But the thing is that if you are afraid of gaining too much fat on your bulk, just make sure that you don't eat on a surplus that is higher than 500. By doing that, you will not only, according to science, maximize your muscle gain potential in relation to the fat gain, because anything about 500 calories usually causes you to gain more fat than muscle, but also you will pretty much not get fat if you will not overdo it, and overdoing it is hard. Imagine your current mental barrier from bulking. Imagine how much bigger it would be. Now, if you will develop the wrong eating habits, if you will start to eat a bunch of junk food, you will be a lot more likely to overdo it. But if you will do a clean bulk, if you will track your calories, if you will take this path, which is completely fine to take, and the other path is also completely valid, if you keep in mind that you might overdo it and you are okay with that, then if you take this path of clean eating, the cut afterwards becomes a lot easier, and with it, you should not be afraid of overgaining weight, because gaining weight is pretty hard when you eat clean, when you eat in a low surplus, and when you will reach that point in which you will think that you are overdoing the bulk, in which you will start to see your veins disappear, in which your abs will start to be hidden behind a portion of fat, you will just stop to bulk. That's what you would do probably, right? That's what I was doing pretty much. And that's it. If you enjoyed this video, you can like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.